Thank you and welcome to our podcast, The Conversation. Today we're going to look at a social cultural group here in Plateau State. It's in Plateau but has a global influence. And the person leading it also has a global influence. We're going to have the conversation about what the Birom Educational and Cultural Organization is all about. And they don't also do only the activities here in Nigeria, but also carry out activities with Biroms in diaspora. And that's what you're going to be hearing how they're connecting with the people outside. Sometimes when people leave home, and that's the end of their story. I remain yours sincerely, Yakubu Tadi, and I have a guest. My guest is one that has huge titles. He is BECO president worldwide. He is also called the Jagaban. Jagaban, is not the Birom name. So it's a Yoruba name. He will tell us what that means. He has worked in different places, from the classroom to the top echelon of the customs, and his back offering service and also community service and also serving the country in different capacities. Join me to welcome Da Gang Dudu Dalup. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you, my brother. It's a pleasure being here, and I hope the few moments we will spend this morning, we should be able to unveil certain things. Yeah.
Well, perhaps let's get clarity so that people will get to know that you are actually Birom. When they call you Jagaban, that's not the Birom title.
But the actual word Jagaban is a corrupted version of Jagaba.
Okay.
Jagaba is a leader, the one in the forefront of leadership. So they call you Jagaba. But when our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was given a title in Burgu as Jagaban Burgu,
Okay.
the Yorubas, when calling the name, now made it Jagaban. And that is how it's talk more as a title for the Yorubas called Jagaban. But actually, I was given that title in my class of 2012 to 2013 when I was doing my master's degree in Lagos State University. The class gave me the title of Jagaban of Lasu.
Okay.
That is why they call me Jagaban. And I think it is settling down with so many people with my style of leadership and the way I carry on. So the name is like resurfacing strongly. Yeah.
Well, sir, one can rightly call you a Jos boy.
Yes.
From Chelnyap to Township School and all the schools around here and knowing Jos in and out.
Yeah.
What were those memories in the early days?
Sincerely speaking, I had all my childhood in Jos. I saw Jos when it was not developed. I saw when Nasarawa, you can even count the number of houses in Nasarawa. You can stay in Nasarawa and see terminals very well.
Yeah.
And see everywhere. But today, there are changes. I started from Chania Primary School, where we call Nasarawa today. It was entirety of Chania, and we have few schools there. The school has its root from the Cooking Church, and it was called then PMBCCS Primary School, and that is where I started my primary school. Then my father later thought of what I don't know. He just felt I should move to township school, and that exposed me the more to understanding. Just I was living Cholnyap, crisscrossing by foot up to Township Primary School every day and back. And when I finished my primary school, I was not opportune to get any government school. So my father enrolled me in Prince College of Commerce, Jos. And the school was in Laranto, was owned by a man from Delta State, Mr. Oporido. Oporido lived in Apata so much that he became a member of the Plateau State House of Assembly. That is how deep Jos was in integrating both non and indigenous people were all mixed. You cannot know the difference between who is who in Jos. So those were the schools I did within Jos before I moved to Government Teachers College Nasarawa, where I finished my grade 2 certificate. When I came back at some point, I worked with the Ministry of Works in Jos. By 1975, when the state creations were made, I had the opportunity also of working at the Ministry of Works in Jos. After that, 1 year after, we were enrolled for teaching. They call it prop teaching then.
Yes.
And I had to go as far as Kura Falls to teach there. So teach for 1 year and they send us to schools. Now there is something Gowon did. If not for him, some of us would have not been who we are today. We're eternally grateful with his UPE program. The UPE program brought a lot of opportunities for some of us to go back to school. Maybe I would have stopped with my secondary school certificate 3, but I went there and grabbed my grade 2 certificate. When I had to do my NCE in education, also moved from NCE to BEd in education in Ahmadu Bello University before I did some lecturing job at College of Education Wakabiu in Borno State. So I have crisscrossed Nigeria with opportunities that were available to me before joining the customs in 1990. I moved from there. I spent 28 years in the Nigerian customs, retired as a deputy controller of customs. And when I came back home, I thought I was coming to rest, and our people said, no way.
Well, teaching is something that is a noble profession, and perhaps is that what is the influence of your experience in teaching on leadership? Because you're always calm, no matter how tough the situation is, the storm is. But people will be shouting and freaking, but you're calm and
You see, I love the teaching profession. I had mentors ahead of me that I looked onto that gave me the opportunity to love that profession. I love teaching so much that all my life I have been teaching. Till tomorrow, when I have opportunity, I will still teach. And now this is how it is. I taught first as a secondary 3 dropout when they call us prop teachers.
okay.
When they needed us to cover up grounds where there were inadequacies. Then I went to teachers college, and then I got grounded in the teaching aspect, did teaching practice excellently. I had an A in teaching. And then I move on to NCE. And in NCE is all about teaching, teaching, teaching. I love that. And when I graduated from my NCE, we were the last batch who did NYC. And my NYC was in Zaria. So I did my teaching in a secondary school. Had fun teaching. I love teaching because I do it freely because I had a passion for it. Even when I graduated from Ahmadu Bello University, I still went ahead to lecture. I lectured for 3 years. I left that place. When I got to customs, after my training, they sent me to Jos. The first assignment they gave me in Jos was to teach the new recruits. I'm telling you. So I had that teaching experience. So when I got even grounded in the Nigerian custom in 2009, they were recruiting fresh people to the service, and I was not even among the selected trainers, but somebody who has known my background from Jos remember how I used to lecture freely. He now advised the coordinator to bring me in. They now invited me. I did not partake in their train the trainers.
Yeah.
But by the time I entered class, people leave other classes to come and listen to my lectures, for my training sessions. I became a star. By the time I left, the students gathered and gave me a certificate as the most flamboyant.
It's somehow
So
inborn in you.
it's just there. Do you
Okay.
understand?
Okay, let me ask this.
Yeah.
Working with the customs paramilitary organization is
Yes.
command and control.
Yes.
You have to do with instructions. And here you are
Yes.
to the rank of assistant controller general, and then you are running a president of a social cultural organization where the behavior is not as this one. If you say stand there, you will stand until you give order.
There are things you need to know in any place you are assigned. Um, there's usually some challenges with people who don't learn to understand the assignment given to them and where the assignment is located. As a customs officer, there are three basic aspects of the job. There is the enforcement aspect of the job, there is the revenue aspect of the job, and there is the general aspect of the job that has to do with human relations and how to facilitate trade. So those aspects gives you the basic understanding of how to deal with every sphere of life at every given time. So you cannot use enforcement cells to draw revenue. You cannot use that to pacify people to comply with regulations. So there are different aspects to it. So your training gives you the basis to sieve and understand how to approach the different relevant aspects of life. Come to think of it, besides being the custom officer, I led the Bureau community in Lagos for more than 12 years.
Wow.
I was on that seat molding, galvanizing, and packaging our people for commitment to our home front. So we were doing things, bringing ourselves into unity, bringing ourselves into basic corporations and getting things done collectively. So it was easy for me to manage a lot of people. So when I came with this assignment, I first of all asked myself, what is BICU? Educational and Cultural Organization doesn't stop there by the keywords in
Yeah.
these systems. You see, the error that some people do is to look at the entire block called the Bureau of Educational and Cultural Organization and think it is just about education and culture. What about the word organization?
Yes.
What about the word Bureau? Bureau is an ethnic nationality made up of a lot of intrigues in the compact nature of humanity. So we are dealing with an ethnic group that is large, that is exposed, that is educated. Now you have the assignment of also making sure that we do not fall back or fall out of the educational setup. We do not fall back in renegating our cultural packaging, what is contained in our culture and tradition and customs. How do we keep them, and maintain and pass them to the next generation? So it is a total organ that you must know its objective, the reason for its setup, how did it came, how did we come to the stage that we are? Who were the forefathers? Who propelled us to where we are? And all that, I got the understanding of that. And I knew from my experience in Lagos that our people are a very difficult people to manage. And they have one self-confidence in them that if you like, you do it. If you like, don't do it. It's none of their business. That kind of a person that is complacent, that don't care about anything that happens next, is difficult to really put them together and give orders and they obey you. So I learned the whole of that rudiments, and I know that for me to succeed, I have to be committed into the project. And that
Okay.
has been it.
Yes, you bring me the point of diversity,
Yeah.
managing diversity, looking at the Biron people, the different interest groups. You've mentioned them.
Yeah.
There's the political angle, there's the religious angles. There are Birons that are not Christians. There are Birons that are also still practicing this thing. So, in managing, how do you manage these diversities and still have them as one? Because since you came on board, there has been a building up and a trajectory is going up in
Yes.
terms of cohesion and coming together.
See, the first thing I did was to remove myself from any setup that would make me look biased. As a leader, you must collapse your interest into the general interest of the people. You should look at what will benefit your people more than what will benefit you more as an individual. So I had this conflict of people misunderstanding roles and people misunderstanding when not to do something because you are not X and when to do it because you belong to the same ethnic nationalities. The first thing that anybody must know is that you are first and foremost Urum before you become Udu, before you become Uvan, or before you come from Gel or Foron or anywhere. You are Urum. And that is why you see the slogan Urum Ase Urum is being abused though, but the fact remains that those words, those three words, have key connecting factors in them that must make us the one entity that we are. Whether you are a Muslim, non-practicing religious person, you are an atheist, you are a religious, a traditional person, you are Rome first. And let me tell you, I stayed with the Yorubas for long to learn a lot from them. I had the opportunity of spending 20 years of my 28 years of service in Lagos areas and environment. I walked up to Idiroko, Ogun State, and crisscrossed all the areas, and I knew something. The Yoruba man believes in his oneness as a Yoruba man first before religion. So in one family, they can have the diverse religion. Nothing stops them from being the Yoruba they are. They see religion as social pastimes and they don't even put it as a serious element that will stop them from progressing. Are you telling me the Yorubas are not doing well today in Nigeria? They are excellently doing things fine. And we cannot take it away from there if we begin to show disparity because I belong to this party, I belong to this religion, I belong to this form of faith or the other. The whole thing is that who is a Biron person? A Biron person is somebody who loves himself first, loves his nations, and is willing to do anything to protect the sanctity of our nation, doing everything to protect our identity, doing everything possible to protect the sanctity of the stool of the God of John, which is our uniting factor. And those other elements that binds us, like the Nzembirom, like the Wusal Birom, those are key elements that bring the Birom people all nyak, like Uro will say, all together.
Yes.
And so we cannot joke with that kind of opportunities that have shown class to make us look one. And we will continue to pursue them. We are showing leadership in those areas. We are partakers in the drive.
Yes, that brings us to the point of the Diaspora Connect.
Yeah.
Birums outside Plateau State, indeed, feeling at home, and it's been extended abroad. Recently, in recent times, I've seen about 3 years down the line or 4
Yes.
that the Birums in North America
Yeah.
yearly have a program. What's the impact on that on
Yes,
the social cultural?
biannually.
Yes, biannually.
2 years.
Yes, okay.
After they do it.
Yes.
Yes.
And I have seen you go there
Yes.
regularly too.
Yes. I don't partake in such activities for just the fun of it. There is one, the psychological angle to participating in such events. 2, there is the leadership angle to show proof that whether you are at home or outside, Rome as Rome, you must stay connected with your roots and your traditions. And those things that were bequeathed to us by our forefathers, we make them as formal elements that we have to sell to the outer world. 3, we have an obligation not to let any Roman miss his way or refuse to be identified because Omari got chonde or this one has already
it's lost.
It's lost. You know, I could say that whatever if you are gone out of home, we made home even in the diaspora. When I came on board in 2019, they had their first convention and they invited me. And I saw it as an opportunity because as at that year, we had lost a vital election where one of our own was contesting and lost the election. It was like all the communities on the plateau and the world was against the Biro people. And I saw that as an opportunity to begin to bring down the tension, ease out the loss factor, and begin to bring back our people back to their senses. I had to use my funds to travel to the US. And we blew that event. And our people began to recoup themselves and began to feel belonging to the social systems. Because when you feel everyone is against you, you have that tendency of you withdrawing is about may come and setting, and then you will be a layback. I refuse that. We fought that psychologically. We won the war, and our people came strong on the social media and broadcast that. Year in, year out, with the subsequent event, 2021, we could not go because of COVID, because there were restrictions and we couldn't travel. But 2023, I was there, and it held in New York when we brought the culture of the Birom people to bear in New York. We did a lot of things. You will see white people struggling to eat tukchum and take tere. They were drinking our gote, eating namadiara soup. Oh, this tastes nice. That's how they were feeling, And so we took that as an export. Even at the airport, the customs, the American customs know acha. And they will tell you, do you have acha there? We say, yes, there's acha. They will not even ask you too many questions. The only thing they were frowning about was, do you have gala? Because they don't like gala. Because gala is processed food.
Yeah.
And if you keep it after some time, the tendency of it getting spoiled or picking a virus or whatever may set in, or bacteria and all that.
Right.
So they don't want that. If they see, they seize it and throw it away. So they don't allow it to
So
enter.
what's the reception for that interaction and engagement? And I also see they have advanced with it with thematic points of discussion, not just a cultural thing.
Yes. The event is a deliberately planned program to not just go dancing, to not just go showcasing our food and costumes. We also had the opportunity to explore our various capabilities. Like this year's on had its center on technological prowess and drive in Buromland. So we saw opportunities in so many of our people who are into the technological world, creating and innovating things, and they were showcased there. There were teachings on investment, the need for the diaspora community to come back and invest at home. They showed their fears, they showed their exceptions, but we were able to grasp all of that to tell them that the home front is not as terrible as most people might think. There are great opportunities, especially in the estate development. Those are areas that have not been explored. In the mining area, and so many other areas that they can come in and put up their funds instead of warehousing their funds in the United States and they are not gaining anything out of that. They should use that opportunity. Some of them can come and build schools and get some of our people employed and also have their funds also managed. One of our boys is doing exceptionally well. He has his school right there in Chugi in a suburb. And the school can be rated to his grace when you hear these local kids speak English. His wife is German, so she is bringing a lot of teaching materials into the project. They have now moved to the United States. So he was at the convention and did a presentation, and everybody was amazed. So those are the things we do when we go there. We don't just go and just enjoy ourselves.
Yeah,
No,
okay. Just a
we
jamboree.
take advantage of the situation, give them a picture of what is happening back at home, and expect them to do more for us.
So you're looking at leadership. Leadership should be able to galvanize people, to
Yeah.
mobilize people. From 2019 till now, can you put a finger to your leadership? What has been able to be done to get the people together? And let me also tie the issue of language loss. And this is one area. When you find the people in the state capital, that threat is more than any other place. And some people say, oh, they're not speaking, but it's a convergence of different people on the capital. Are there any deliberate things being done to also preserve the Birom
Yes.
language?
You asked a vital question that seems to say, what do I have to pin as one of my achievements? One of those things that I will say quickly is the revival of the Biko Comprehensive High School in Kwi, a school that was birthed in 1984. By the time I came in 2019, it was a sorry sight. And we have video to prove that. We had to do videos, we did documentaries to keep it as records. Today, you go to that school, they have a population of over 400 students, and they have been graduating with very good results. That is a pointer. I was able to draw the attention of people from the diaspora, people from their various social groups who are ready to work for the land. I was able to draw them there. I drew the politicians. They came and built classes and classrooms in that environment. Some of you, I can't forget the fact that you too played a very vital role in supplying some of those equipments to your former place of work. You took computers there and all that. These are things that leadership can do. It's the sensitivity. I utilize the social media platform a lot because I am someone that grew in civilization. So I am not a bushman. So I have my hands well tailored on the social media platform that can play with the computer and the handsets and all that. I've learned to all the handles.
Okay, with other ethnic groups, having an ethnic group like the Beko, there's also the different ethnic groups within Plateau State and
Yeah.
outside. And what is the level of the handshake amongst you?
One thing you should understand is that no nation can exist all by itself on its own. Nations come when they have a very good intra relationship with other communities, even in terms of wars. In the past, you don't just go fight wars all on your own. You have people who will fight alongside with you and will continue to keep those bonds. I am in PDAN. PDAN is Plateau Initiative for the Development and the Advancement of the Native. I am the first vice president in PDAN. I am the national, the zonal coordinator for Plateau North Senatorial District. I am the coordinator of all the ethnic groups. So you know that I have them all packaged under me. So to talk of connecting, I'm connecting seamlessly with them. Even at the general level in the entire Plateau State, I am number 2 after the president. So I can tell you without any fear of contradiction that I am in touch with all the 56 existing registered nationalities on the platform of PDAN. And very soon we shall have a very big convergence of these communities coming together to, think through to what is going to happen next. And
Well, it's interesting having this conversation with you, but let me ask you something personal. Are the Biron people Arsenal fans? Because these colors somehow.
Arsenal. Some people are calling me Dara Arsenal. Yes, sir. I'm a very, very strong lover of football. And I love good football. And I've stuck myself with Arsenal. I pity those who think keeping cups is what brings joy.
No, the colors they're relating with Arsenal.
Yes, I'm just trying to give you my connect with Arsenal.
Yeah.
The truth is that when you look at the Arsenal Football Club, I joy in seeing them play. The creative nature. Watch 3 past 4, 6 seasons, up to 10 seasons from 2012, and see the style of play, the way they tap until they put the ball into the net. It's like it's just a replay of all that has been happening into the next generation. So that club has been consistent with their pattern of play, and I love them. I love good football. Let me stay on my TV and jump up when a goal is scored. I don't care. Carry your cups. Be drinking your chai inside your cup. After all some of those cups are going to go my
So we hope that Beko would also revive the Beko Youth Competition and the rest of them. And time is fast spent. When you speak to a passionate leader, you have a lot of issues to discuss. We're wishing you a very successful tenure. And
I wish we had time to look at the challenges.
We're going to have a second part of this conversation.
I think that is very necessary when we will have the opportunity to look at the challenges in the land, the challenges in leadership, the challenges in the packaging of the social-cultural organization. That will help us into the future.
There will be a second part, actually.
Okay.
Yes.
I think I would love that.
Let me appreciate the Jagaban for finding time to be here, and we hope to have. It's Jagabao, so you better know what Jagaban is. It's Jagaba. So, but it has come to be accepted as Jagaban. Dudu Daliop, we want to thank you very much for this time. And our viewer, we shall be here again with another interesting personality, but I can assure you, he's going to come back again to talk about other aspects we have not touched in this conversation. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Yakubu Tadi. You can always reach out to us on our social media handles to get a conversation with us.